I used to think that the worst thing in life was to end up alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel alone. You're only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it. Canada is like a loft apartment over a really great party. Never pick a fight with an ugly person. They've got nothing to lose. People say satire is dead. It's not dead, it's alive and living in the White House. I'm sorry, if you were right, I'd agree with you. Spring is nature's way of saying, let's party. If heaven exists, to know that there's laughter, that would be a great thing. For me, comedy starts as a spew, a kind of explosion, and then you sculpt it from there, if at all. It comes out of a deeper, darker side. Maybe it comes from anger, because I'm outraged by cruel absurdities, the hypocrisy that exists everywhere, even within yourself, where it's hardest to see. Being in the same room with people and creating something together is a good thing. If it's the psychic network, why do they need a phone number? Gentiles are people who eat mayonnaise for no reason. The Statue of Liberty is no longer saying, "Give me your poor, your tired, your huddled masses." She's got a baseball bat and yelling, "You want a piece of me?" A woman would never make a nuclear bomb. They would never make a weapon that kills, no. They'd make a weapon that makes you feel bad for a while. The Second Amendment says we have the right to bear arms, not to bear artillery. Having George W. Bush giving a lecture on business ethics is like having a leper give you a facial. It just doesn't work. I basically started performing for my mother, going, "Love me." What drives you to perform is the need for that primal connection. When I was little, my mother was funny with me, and I started to be charming and funny for her. And I learned that by being entertaining, you make a connection with another person. You have this idea that you'd better keep working, otherwise people will forget. And that was dangerous. I loved school, maybe too much, really. I was summa cum laude in high school. I was driven that way. Cricket is basically baseball on Valium. The Russians love Brooke Shields because her eyebrows remind them of Leonid Brezhnev. I started doing comedy because that was the only stage that I could find. It was the pure idea of being on stage. That was the only thing that interested me, along with learning the craft and working, and just being in productions with people. A lot of it's like Good Morning Vietnam. I get great letters from guys. I bought one of the first Nintendo systems and brought that home, and we were playing Legend of Zelda at the time, and it was addicting, and I was playing it for hours and hours and hours. The improv, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but when it does, it's like open field running. I only ever play Vegas one night at a time. It's a hideous, gaudy place. It may not be the end of the world per se, but you can certainly see it from there. It's hard when you read an article saying bad things about you. It is as if someone is sticking a knife on your heart. But I am the harshest critic of my work. I have a difficult time doing an Irish accent, Even now, it kind of fades slowly into Scottish. The bad thing about being a famous comedian is that every now and then someone approaches me to tell an old joke. Don't tell me jokes, I have that. People also say the weirdest things, sometimes sarcastic things, and even evil things. They like to provoke to get a reaction. I was only a leading man for a minute, now I'm a character actor. I write on big yellow legal pads, ideas in outline form when I'm doing stand-up and stuff. It's vivid that way. I can't type it into an iPad, I think that would put a filter into the process. The essential truth is that sometimes you're worried that they'll find out it's a fluke, that you don't really have it. You've lost the muse or, the worst dread, you never had it at all. I went through all that madness early on. I knew Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were really talented. As actors, they were both studly young men, and they had great writer's chops. One of my favorite actors of all time, although he doesn't necessarily play villains, is Peter Lorre. No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world. If women ran the world, we wouldn't have wars, just intense negotiations every 28 days. Why do they call it rush hour when nothing moves? Comedy can be a cathartic way to deal with personal trauma. What's right is what's left if you do everything else wrong. Carpe per diem, seize the check. Reality is just a crutch for people who can't cope with drugs. Comedy is acting out optimism. Reality, what a concept. Divorce is expensive. I used to joke they were going to call it all the money, but they changed it to alimony. It's ripping your heart out through your wallet. I like my wine like my women, ready to pass out. Sometimes over things that I did, movies that didn't turn out very well, you go, why did you do that? But in the end, I can't regret them because I met amazing people. There was always something that was worth it. We've had cloning in the South for years. It's called cousins. The idea of having a steady job is appealing. When Jonathan Winters died, it was like, oh, man. I knew he was frail, but I always thought he was going to last longer. I knew him as being really funny, but at the same time, he had a dark side. I do believe in love, it's wonderful, especially love third time around, it's even more precious, it's kind of amazing. I loved running, but all of a sudden everything hurt so much. I started cycling when Zelda was born. Do I perform sometimes in a manic style? Yes. Am I manic all the time? No. Do I get sad? Oh yeah. Does it hit me hard? Oh yeah. Politics is so personal, vicious and immediate. How are you going to get anything done? Even the local politics where I live have gotten so ugly. You'll notice that Nancy Reagan never drinks water when Ronnie speaks. I don't do well with snakes and I can't dance. When the media asked George W. Bush a question, he answers, "Can I use a lifeline?" When you look at Prince Charles, don't you think that someone in the royal family knew someone in the royal family? Tweets? That stuff kills conversation. And people taking pictures with their phone or recording you, sometimes surreptitiously, is creepy. They come up and just start talking to you, and you can see the red light on their phone.